You know when you're in a relationship that doesn't look toxic on the surface, but something inside you is constantly unsettled, like you're never fully relaxed even when things seem fine. There's no obvious chaos, no clear moment where you can point and say this is wrong, but over time, you start noticing how much energy it takes just to stay okay around them. I've been in that place where love slowly turns into self-monitoring, where you think more about how you come across than how you actually feel, and where every disagreement somehow leaves you questioning yourself instead of the situation. You start replaying conversations in your head, wondering if you said too much, asked for too much, felt too much. One of the signs I missed early on was how often I felt anxious instead of safe with someone I cared about. I wasn't afraid of them, but I was afraid of losing them, afraid of upsetting them, afraid of becoming too much. And that fear quietly shaped how I showed up. I also noticed how my needs slowly became negotiable. Wanting clarity felt like pressure. Wanting effort felt like asking for favors. And without realizing it, I began adjusting myself to keep the peace, instead of expecting the relationship to meet me halfway. At some point, love stopped feeling like connection and started feeling like emotional work I was doing alone. What makes a relationship toxic isn't always cruelty or control, but the way it slowly pulls you away from yourself, while convincing you that this is just how love works. I didn't feel trapped because someone forced me to stay. I felt trapped because I had learned to doubt my own reactions, to minimize my hurt, and to believe that if I just tried harder, things would finally feel stable. I noticed how often responsibility flowed in one direction. I reflected, I apologized, I adjusted, and they stayed the same. Over time, I stopped asking whether I was being treated well and focused only on whether I was being good enough. That's one of the quietest signs of toxicity, when your self-worth starts rising and falling based on how someone else responds to you. Another sign is how hard it becomes to imagine leaving, even when you're unhappy. Not because you don't see the damage, but because the relationship has trained you to believe that discomfort is normal and that asking for more is selfish. Here's the truth I had to face slowly. Healthy relationships don't make you feel afraid to be honest. They don't make you shrink to stay connected. They don't confuse love with endurance. Avoiding toxic relationships isn't about being cold or guarded. It's about paying attention to how you feel inside them and trusting that feeling. If this sounds close to your own experience, you don't need perfect words to share it. You don't need to make sense of everything yet. You can say it the way it feels, even if it's messy or unfinished. This is a space where honesty is enough, and you're allowed to be yourself.